The move with MySoIn. Welcome to my Facebook Live, where I spotlight local businesses, nonprofits, and happenings around our area. Well, today I have ventured over to a nonprofit organization in New Albany called the Homeless Coalition of Southern Indiana, and I am here with Melissa Fry.
Good morning.
Hi, good morning, Melissa. Thanks for letting me come on out.
Thank you for coming.
Well, Melissa, tell us a little bit about the Homeless Coalition and where we are right now. We're at the campus of the Salvation Army, correct?
Yes.
Okay.
So the Salvation Army is one of several partners that started the Homeless Coalition of Southern Indiana. That was an outgrowth of our strategic plan to end homelessness in Clark and Floyd counties. We did that work a couple of years ago. And one of the primary needs that was identified through that process was the need for emergency white flag shelter. So white flag shelter is shelter that's provided during extreme weather conditions to take on the overflow or additional people who might need to go into shelter who don't usually go into shelter. So at 35 degrees in the winter, when it reaches 35 degrees or lower for 5 or more consecutive hours, we open the doors and bring in homeless people off the street or overflow from area shelters. They're able to come in for the night from 7 p.m. until 7 a.m.
Ah, I see. And what is the criteria? Does anyone have to fill out paperwork or?
Yes, so our guests come in and they register with us. They fill out some paperwork and we do some background check things to make sure that we're following state policies around who we house and how we do that. And then once they've done that, they get a temporary identification card, so they don't have to do that every single time they come in. And then there are guests. They come in, they can have dinner. We serve a hot breakfast. Sometimes it's cold breakfast, but we serve breakfast and we pack a lunch for them so they have a lunch for the next day.
Wow, that's wonderful. And they're welcome to come back how many times then?
They can come back as much as they need to.
But they're only open when the weather is 35 degrees or below.
Yes, absolutely.
Well, it's been a very mild winter, so that's been very nice. But you guys, I bet, have been busy. What is your capacity that you can hold?
So when we first started, we were in this small space here at the Salvation Army, and we could only house up to 10 people.
Okay.
And we were there in December. We started December 12th. And then at the new year, the Salvation Army opened up their gymnasium for us, and now we can house as many as 50 people. So if we had a significant weather event and there was lots of overflow from area shelters, we would be able to accommodate as many as 50 people.
Oh, that's wonderful. That's wonderful. And what are some things going on right now with the Homeless Coalition? Because you're the chair?
I'm the co-chair of the White Flag Committee, just for the White Flag Committee. And so our work right now, we're getting toward the end of the season.
Yes.
And our work right now is to think about next year. And what we'd really like to do is recruit more volunteer teams so that every volunteer team will just volunteer one night a month.
Okay.
So maybe you're the first Monday of the month, and that's when your team shows up and your group of friends gets together and you decide that's what you're doing for the night, and you cover that the first Monday of every month. So right now we're working on figuring out how to use our off season to get out there and talk to all of you about joining us and volunteering for White Flag Shelter for next year.
Well, that's wonderful. And so if they want to volunteer, they can reach out to you how?
Yes, so you can find us on Facebook at Homeless Coalition of Southern Indiana and find contact information there and other ways to get in touch with the executive director, and they will make sure you get in touch with our White Flag Committee.
And I think there's a phone number too. Well, we don't have that. Oh, it's on the Facebook. Yes, so if you go and like their Facebook, you'll get more information for volunteer opportunities. So you're finding people from probably local churches, I'd imagine, too.
Yeah, local churches, but also I'm a professor at IU Southeast, and we have had students, faculty, and staff have come together to staff Thursday nights, for example. So that's been a great opportunity for our students and for our university to be involved in the community in a very consistent way.
Well, thank you so much for being so consistent and taking care for the homeless population here in Southern Indiana, Melissa. Thank you so much for what you do. And so speaking of volunteers, if you would like to volunteer, you can go to their Facebook page and like it. And I have with me a very long time volunteer here, Craig Stumbler, and he's going to share with us about what being a volunteer has meant to him here at the Homeless Coalition of Southern Indiana.
Well, it has been so great to serve my neighbors and different people around our area who come and they just need shelter for the night. Some of them have homes that they can't afford to turn the heat on, or the heat's been turned off, so they can come in and they can stay warm.
Yes.
And I have a lot of people from our church have been very involved in helping us, and it just is really good back because everybody's so thankful to be here, and they just come in and they're so happy to be here, and they're like, "Oh, you're here this week." We serve on I serve on Mondays and Fridays, and so it's been a great opportunity, just even better than the soup kitchen for me, to actually get to talk to these people and sit down and have a good conversation.
Well, that's wonderful. So it's meant a lot to you. It's just, you know, giving back in the community like that. Thank you so much for what you do, Craig. That's wonderful. So if you could say something about people wanting to volunteer, what it's meant to you, what could you say in a nutshell?
It's just so nice to be able to know that I'm doing something good for our community with our fellow neighbors that we see on the streets, that we see at the soup kitchens and at our churches.
That's right. That's right. Because you never know your situation, you know, to be in a homeless situation. So
well, we were talking at one of our meetings one time about how we don't know if our electricity might get turned out if there's a power outage, and that's what's so nice to know that there's a place that if our power goes out, we can go stay the night and be safe and comfortable.
That's right, safe and comfortable. Well, thank you for what you do and your service to the community. So if you would like more information, if you would like to volunteer, or you'd like to make a donation, there is a donation button on their Facebook page. So please go to that Facebook page, like it to get more information. They will keep you up to date what's going on with their organization. So thankful for what they're doing in the community. And we here at MySoIn, we want you to know what's going on in the community around you. So thanks for tuning in with me. This has been Mary Capps, Mary on the Move with MySoIn, and I'll catch you next time.